Many in this world are keen to be very kind so as not to hurt others or distort their image in front of them. They also work hard to be within the standards of the society in which they grew up without having the ability to say no or to rebel against some things that require rejection and condemnation. This is kindness in the perception of many people. Kindness is synonymous with weakness, psychological fragility, satisfaction, and supplication, while true kindness is neither this nor that when situations require a lot of firmness and strictness. If you are one of these people or part of their kindness, this book is for you, because it removes this psychological stagnation and inactivity and stimulates in you the will to understand the meaning of kindness in another way, in which others do not exploit you, expose you to their insults, or beg for their approval in any way. Do not be too kind. By Diocropius. People in general tend towards perfection in everything, so they work hard to appear in the appearance of absolute perfection without taking into account the conditions of humanity, which is susceptibility. To make mistakes and be imperfect, we are doomed to be imperfect, not because we are evil, but because our nature compels us to do so. Therefore, appearing perfect contradicts the simplest human and natural conditions that govern the human world. Some may imagine that such an appearance is a kind act that expresses our humanity, so they do things without making mistakes. Or they fear criticism, considering it a demolition of all achievements, while ultimately the focus should be on the work. Because no matter how much effort a person puts into perfecting their actions, by virtue of this inherent nature, they will only reach a small part of relative perfection. Our true success is not represented in perfection, but in moments and the effort expended. This is what makes us feel proud and special. When we are able to complete our work and tasks, we rejoice, not because our intellectual and professional projects are complete, but simply because we did our best to achieve them. This is what is required. Similarly, when a person is overcome by false kindness, he believes he is obligated to undertake tasks beyond his capacity and greater than his capabilities, so you see him working hard for long hours. Or he does things he is not good at in order to obtain satisfaction. Thus, kindness based on satisfaction strives with all its effort to exhaust the human being and empty him of his intellectual and physical content as a result of these accumulated errors. What we must understand here is that forcing ourselves to do unbearable tasks destroys ourselves and our physical and intellectual effort and exposes us to complete consumption, excessive tension, mental distraction, sleep disturbances, and insomnia. We become like circus performers who throw balls in the air, helpless, or like someone sailing an overweight ship that may sink at any time. Kindness is not about exhausting ourselves, as this is a kind of unnecessary naivety, because when we exhaust ourselves, the result will be internal anger and dissatisfaction with the achievement that is not driven by desire and pleasure. The idea of the tendency towards perfection makes a person feel deficient. Kindness is not about burdening oneself with what is unbearable. The kind person falls into the trap of his kindness and becomes an easy prey in the hands of others who they exploit it in a way that is more hideous than one can imagine. One of the ugly images that some people exploit in a gentle person is turning him into a personality that has no decision, so that he does not express or say what he wants. Here, the person turns into a god and a means of pleasing others, and with it, he loses his entire humanity. The person finds it very embarrassing to express what he wants in various social situations and circumstances. Hence, it is necessary to practice mastering some practical steps to avoid slipping into the trap of saying what people want, not what you want. Admit the error of this behavior and decide not to return to this form of behavior. Seek help from others. Those who are deluded by distorted kindness also imagine that if they suppress anger or do not express it in any way, this increases their chances of being accepted by others. This is a pure illusion because expressing anger is at the core of our humanity, and anger is ultimately a release of negative charges that a person is exposed to. As a result of an unacceptable situation or behavior, and the process of suppressing it causes physical as well as psychological harm. The more a person suppresses anger, the more they feel a nervous feeling that makes them lose their temper. The ability to control their tempers, as they are exposed to all forms of psychological torture in the case of self-destruction, makes nice people mistaken when they do not express their anger, because their idealism and perfectionist thinking makes them think more about not damaging their image in front of others than maintaining their physical and mental health. Strangely, this reality is far from correct, because expressing anger and being honest about it sometimes gains you more advantages than suppressing it. It also improves your chances of forming strong, sustainable social relationships. Nice people constantly suffer from exploitation, bullying, and attacks because of their inability to respond in most cases. However, this sometimes makes their reactions strong due to the pressure on their psyches or due to excessive feelings of contempt or self-importance. Because humans are also instinctive creatures in some aspects, they are subject to reckless impulsiveness when attacked by others. This instinctive and impulsive state makes the author advise those who suffer from it or who respond harshly and forcefully to be careful. What is necessary in such difficult situations, and perhaps the most important advice, is to be rational in the moment of excitement and to take enough time to achieve a state of psychological balance and stability. He also advises understanding some situations and not taking them seriously, or that those who cause them intend to harm you. This state of calm can make the other parties more willing to listen to you and understand the reasons for your anger, and perhaps prevent them from returning to the behavior that was or will be a source of anger. Furthermore, the chronic problem of the kind person is that they strive to maintain a beautiful image in the eyes of others, even if it costs them a lot of money. There are two problems facing this type of person. One is confronting people, including themselves, and being honest with them about what you want. The second is maintaining your calm and serenity through compliments and flowery talk devoid of any sincerity. It seems that this pattern in